Welcome to the new year. Hope everyone had a good new year. I know I did. Man, oh man, the new year. We're in 2022, man. Man, I feel old because I'm turning 23. But then Tony's here also. He's turning 50, so I can't feel that bad.
All right, 50.
And we got David that's turning 45.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Hope everyone had a good new year. I know I did. Hope everyone's staying safe from COVID. I know COVID's spreading like a wildfire right now. Hope all of you that are safe from the disease. I hope your families are safe as well. But before we start the show today, let me introduce you guys to my brief colleagues. Today I got my good friend from Back Shoulder Breakdown, James Wighouse. How you doing over there, buddy?
Good, man. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Then we got the usual man who still thinks that Daniel Jones is a better quarterback than Geno Smith. We got my good friend, Tony Monica. How you doing over there, buddy?
Living life.
Living life, that's phenomenal. Then we got my new guest today, man. Like to say, new year, new beginnings. We got my good friend today, David. How you doing over there, buddy?
Hey, how you doing? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, buddy. Happy New Year. He's also one of the people that thinks Jersey pizza is better than New York. Still never get that point. All right, y'all, let's go into New York. Let's go into the drama everyone's talking about right now. Everyone's talking about it. Antonio Brown. If y'all didn't see, Antonio Brown legit took off his equipment. First time I've ever seen this in my life. I thought the guy who retired in halftime in the Buffalo Bills game, I think a couple of years back, was weird. But this is completely straight. Never seen it in my life. This guy legit took all his equipment off and got off the field. Bruce Arians later that day said that he's no longer part of the Steelers, part of the Buccaneers. But he officially hasn't been released yet. And he said that the Buccaneers, he told the Bucs that he was injured, but they told him to go back in the game. And he's also saying that he got robbed for the $1 million bonus he was headed that he's supposed to get at the end of the season. What do you guys think here? You think, like, who do you guys think? What's going to happen to Antonio Brown?
They got to cut him. I know it hasn't gone through transaction-wise with the NFL yet, but you got to cut him. You can't do it. I mean, I was watching the game because I'm a Jet fan, and it was going pretty good up to that point. I thought a fan ran onto the field. Like, it was very hard, like, at first glance when it first happened to tell that, like, that was Antonio Brown because the play was just about going on. They were kind of, both teams in the huddle. And then they kind of panned right back to the field and it was like, all right, what happened? Then Twitter and Instagram, everything kind of blew up. But you have to cut him. Can't quit on your team like that in the middle of the game. If he was hurt and Bruce Arians was trying to get him back in the game, you just kind of sit on the sideline. You have that discussion, later on. You don't kind of just take your uniform off and, get on the field. He's kind of, trying to get the Jets crowd going at the same time.
James,
James,
starting off to you. It came out that Bruce Arians told him to either come back in the game or go to the locker room. That's what it was.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah, they never gave him the option to sit out the game.
Right. So, I mean, I guess I'm just hearing of that now, but I guess what comes into my mind at that point is if you're Bruce Arians, okay, if you don't go into the game because you're injured and he's telling you to go to the locker room, it feels like normal procedure would be to keep your uniform on, take a trainer to the locker room, try to figure out what's going on with your ankle, not ultimately quit in the middle of the game and call an Uber to wherever he was going to. So ultimately, I think you have to cut him. Yeah, I think he was on borrowed time anyway. With Brady being there, I think that kind of helped get him on the Buccaneers. So ultimately, I would part ways, and that's kind of it.
Okay. Tony, what do you think over there, buddy?
This has scandal written all over it. It has scandal written all over it. So up till now, Antonio Brown, who's very vocal, hasn't said a word. His agent has come on and, talked a little bit. So from what the first reports that came out were that Bruce Arians' offensive, people, whether it be the coaching staff, whomever it was, asked Antonio Brown to go in 2 times, and both times he declined because he says he was hurt. Where at that time he said or Bruce Arians said, if you're not going to play, go to the locker room and you're cut. He told him he was cut right there on the field. So that's the first thing that came out. Second thing that came out was, Antonio Brown was only, I believe, between 10 and 20 catches away from a $300,000 bonus.
$1 million bonus. $1 million bonus. All combined, the touchdown, those catches, and I think the yards. It was almost like $1 million bonus combined.
It was the catches that I believe were needed.
Yeah.
So that's another thing. The thing that scares me, once again, to be perfectly honest, is the fact that he hasn't come out and said anything, but yet he was front side, court at the Nets game last night, living it up. So that's what I'm saying. Right now, this has scandal written all over it. Something's up. I don't know, man. That pot is being stirred right now in Tampa. Tom Brady's got to be shitting his pants.
Okay. David, what do you think of that, buddy?
I personally think the whole Antonio Brown thing's a little weird too. He hasn't said anything. I mean, most people would just go into a locker room if they wanted just to walk out. But I mean, I saw in the video, Mike Evans tried calming him down and stuff like that. And now a report came out today saying that the Cowboys might be interested in him since Michael Gallup tore his ACL in the game. So now there's rumors that he's going there, and they're going to sign him to like a one-day contract from the practice. And then apparently, if he does well, they're going to sign him. The whole thing just doesn't make sense. I think he was 8 catches away from his bonus, and I forgot how many yards and touchdowns away. I mean, I personally don't think that they would do that, number one. They already took a chance on him. Why would they do that to him, to begin with? And then the whole vaccine card thing, they would have cut him right then and there if that was the whole situation. So it's just a little weird to me personally. I think he might be from both sides. I don't think his mental awareness is totally there too. There's an Instagram video of him in an Uber and him talking to the Uber driver about like all this crazy stuff. So I'm not sure exactly what's going on. The whole situation is a little weird to me because even if so, they held you out. Wouldn't you still finish the season, get paid for the season? And then if you make the Super Bowl, win the Super Bowl, you get a bonus even on top of that, which most NFL players get too. So, I get your $1 million bonus, but you're still going to get probably $1 million bonus for going to the Super Bowl again or the playoffs or whatever it is, because there's always contracts that that. So I don't understand the whole thing personally.
Okay. I mean, he hasn't been released yet, and if Tom Brady has a say in it, Tom Brady's not going to let him go. Tom Brady kept this dude at his house. He was staying at Tom Brady's house. So if Tom Brady has a say in it, I don't think Tom Brady's going to let him go because you don't have Godwin this year. And the playoffs are hot this year. The competition is more hard than it was last year. So I don't think they're going to let go of AB. I think if AB hasn't been released yet, he's definitely going to be playing for the Bucs in the playoffs. I'll say that much. All right, guys, this was a big thing this past weekend, New Year's Eve weekend. This big thing this past New Year's Eve weekend about college football players, seniors, and seniors and juniors skipping the bowl games for the draft. A lot of people were talking about it. A lot of criticism was made to players, and a lot of people saying that each player should play for these bowl games, even though they have a draft coming up upcoming draft coming up where they're preparing for. Do you guys think these players should take the risk and play these games when they got the biggest day coming up in their careers?
So I think it really just depends on the player, right? I think everyone has a completely different situation. Like, I mean, you look at year.
James, you're losing over there, buddy. James.
Jamar Chase didn't play last year. Can you hear me?
We got you now. Yeah, we got you now.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
I really think it just depends on the player, their situation, right? Not everyone is a round one lock, right? There's probably 10 or 15 guys that right now that are going to go in the first round in April. Everyone else is not a complete mystery, but in some form or fashion, they can bump up their draft stock to make more money. You had guys like Jamar Chase last year, he opted out. Micah Parsons, he opted out. And you're looking at two guys that are going to be offensive rookie of the year, defensive rookie of the year. in the NFL. But ultimately, I think really what it comes down to is you have to make the best decision for you and your family, because ultimately this is a business. I think players are more aware of that now than maybe they were last year. There's more money involved. And if you're a lock for that top 10 pick and you're playing in the, I don't know, like the GoDaddy.com bowl or something like that, I don't think personally it's going to be worth it for you, because you did see a Jalen Smith injury, the Notre Dame bowl game. You did see the Tua injury, even though he went top 5, he's a quarterback. It's a little bit of a different position. They're willing to take a chance on those guys, because if you have a quarterback, you have most of everything figured out. It's just getting the rest of it done. But personally, I think it's just up to that certain individual. I wouldn't judge someone if they decided not to play. I mean, if it was the college football playoff and you're going for a national championship, I think that's an entirely different situation. You have to stick with your team. That's a once in a lifetime chance. But if it's someone who you're going in the first round, i.e. Jamar Chase, who knew he was going to go in that top 5 right there, why risk the chance that you don't get that guaranteed money when realistically, you're playing for a school that's making X amount of money. And at least last year, they weren't getting paid anything. And now they're just, they're getting endorsements and stuff, but it's nothing compared to the revenue that the team brings in overall. So I think it's a personal decision. If you think it's the best decision for your family, it's kind of hard to judge that decision on a 19 or 20-year-old kid.
Okay. Tony, what do you think over there, buddy?
So I'll be perfectly honest with you. I don't follow too much college football. The way I look at it, if these guys want to sit, what it does is it brings up some kids who wouldn't have had the chance to play in the bowl game to play and maybe show what they got. If I'm not mistaken, this past week wasn't some guy brought up into the quarterback role and he got MVP and he only played a couple snaps at quarterback. I can't remember which bowl game it was. It was this past week. But I know I saw it on ESPN. It gives other people a chance to step up, see what they got, and maybe raise their capital for, the combine or even, the NFL draft. So sit out. I don't care. The only ones that bother me, and I'm not sure what states do it. I know that there are college players that are being paid now. I know California was one of the first states to do it. I'm not sure how many other states are doing it. If you're getting paid, it's a different story. If you're getting paid already, I mean, you're practically a pro. You're getting paid to play. Get your ass on the field.
Okay. David, what do you think over there, buddy?
Well, like I said, I played football in college, so I kind of get both realms of it. My first thing's this. Me personally, I would play in a bowl game. I sweat. I bled. I cried with my teammates. I'm going on the field with them. And that's just my mentality of it. There's insurance policies now that you could take out if you get hurt. There's so many different ways. And like Tony said, there's a way, you're getting paid. Some of these players are getting paid too. So I don't understand why they wouldn't go on, but I also understand the other realm. I mean, some of these guys, their moms are working like 3-4 jobs trying to support them all through their life. And they're like, all right, am I going to really, ruin everything to have my mother or dad work 4 jobs again and me turn down millions and millions of dollars? So I get it. And actually in the Ole Miss Baylor game, Matt Corral, who's a quarterback for Ole Miss, he said he's a top 10 pick. He's like, F it, I'm going to play in the bowl game. I'm not going to – everybody thought he was going to opt out. He said no. He got hurt in the bowl game. So he didn't get hurt where it's going to, obviously suffer. But it was like when I saw him get hurt, I'm like, shit, man. Like, this is why these players are opting out. It was a perfect example of it. But like I said, I understand both realms. Like, if you're getting paid, I get why, you should play. You're getting paid anyway. But me personally, like, I've been on the field with my teammates. If one of my teammates said to me, hey, Dave, I'm not going to play. I'm going to NFL. I'd be like, dude, so can I. I'm still playing, Like, what makes you better than me? How do you know you're going to be a guaranteed first pick? I mean, if you're a guaranteed top 10 pick, I could see. But if, like, you're like a first or second round pick, I don't know if you guys remember Willis McGahee when he got hurt in that bowl game against Ohio State. Before that game, took out for how many $1 million insurance policy. He got hurt, collected the insurance policy, and then played in the NFL. So there's so many ways around it nowadays. And honestly, some of these kids are getting paid, haven't even seen the field yet too. College football is just so different from when I played to when these kids are playing now. It's just a different realm. Like, kids are opting out. You never heard of that 5-10 years ago. You played. So it's just different nowadays.
Okay, 100%. Yeah, I gotta agree with all y'all. I gotta agree with all three of you guys with this one. And 100%, like some of these players do got moms that work in 3 or 4 jobs to have them live the life they do at college, live comfortably, not worry free. And I do support the decision, like, yo, I don't want to play in this ball game because I got to take care of me and my family. But then you got these guys that are getting paid already now because of, like Tony said, the new rule they got in California. These guys, if you're getting paid right now, you have to be in the ball game. But if you're not getting paid right now and you got family depending on you, don't play that game. And you shouldn't be criticized either. I see a lot of these commentators are criticizing these kids that are not playing. First of all, you don't know these kids' story. You don't know their background, what they're going through in their house. So don't criticize someone unless you know their background. Simple as that. That's all I got for that one. Now, let's fly. Let's go to the New York Giants, man. What an embarrassment. They made history. The Giants made history. And not the history you want to make. Man, oh, man. Negative, I believe, was 4 or 10 yards. I forgot. Passing. Negative yards. Passing. Tony.
That's not a real stat. He actually threw for 24 yards, which is still embarrassing. But the negative 10 is because of the fumbles and the pushbacks and sacks. But that's not the actual stat.
I have a question, Tony. I'm going to go to this one because I'm going to go with Tony and David first today because they're Giants fans. Then I'm going to go James. What's happening over there to this organization, man? Y'all guys are downgrading yourself every game. Like, come on. What are y'all doing over here?
Well, I mean, I've said it for the past week, 5 weeks, and you haven't heard it, obviously, for the past 5 weeks. Mike Glennon should not be in the NFL. He came in those 3 minutes with, at the end of the Dallas game, and I thought he was going to be a savior and kind of help us out a little bit. And he ended up sucking wind. He was garbage too. All it does is it shows that Daniel Jones is above. It's just a different class of quarterback than our backups. And just a side note, so Kyle Rudolph was on with Tiki and Tierney today. And, Kyle Rudolph has played with some decent quarterbacks. You know what Kyle Rudolph said today? He's not as good as Geno Smith. He said that Daniel Jones is probably the most talented quarterback he's ever played with.
Oh, my God. He definitely needs to get drug tested. Get that drug test. Get that PED test.
Hey, he said it. I didn't say it.
He's probably getting drug tested right now. I don't even know he's there. Kyle Rudolph, I hope the NFL is drug testing today, buddy. You're definitely on top of steroids, weed, crack, okay? Something. You want something over there. No shot. You must be on something. And then I have a question. Now, Dave, what do you think over here, buddy, with this whole Giants? Where you guys are going to go this year?
Honestly, I think everybody should stay, but Gettleman. Gettleman needs to go. He's messed up so many different things. The draft picks just haven't panned out. It starts from the top. And honestly, you really can't blame Daniel Jones, what Tony was saying, because the guy had like 3 or 4 offensive coordinators his whole NFL career. That he pretty much has one every year. He hasn't had an offensive line that could block for him. The offensive coordinator keeps changing. Like, you can't blame a quarterback for not getting, you know what I'm saying? Like, yes. Does he hold the ball sometimes too long? Yes. But if you watch every play, I mean, especially last year, he was getting hit every play. And then they drafted Andrew Thomas, who's having actually a great year this year. He's a right tackle, not a left tackle. They drafted him to be a left tackle. And now I played offensive line in college. I know how different it is to be a right, because I played right tackle. If they asked me to play left tackle, I don't know what I would do, because it's like totally different. So they asked him to play a totally different position, and then he's Daniel Jones' blind side, and he's a rookie. There's just a lot of things I question, not from the coaching level, but from the GM. And what Tony said, the Glennon situation. Why is he even on the team? I don't get it. Like, he stinks. And then Jake Fromm, who at one point when he was at Georgia was a first-round pick. The guy was supposed to be a top 10 pick coming out of college. You don't leave him in the game so he could grow. What happens if he's a gem? Like, what happens if he's just having one bad game? These quarterbacks all have a bad game. Keep him in. See what happens. Like, I just don't understand. But what you're saying is, yes, the Giants are a bad team right now. Do they have all the talent in the world? Yes. They're probably going to get rid of Shepard next year, to be honest with you. They're probably going to get rid of Gettleman next year. They need to hire either Louis Riddick as a GM or I forgot they're trying to get the New England player personnel person. It starts from the top. And honestly, do I think Joe Judge could be a good coach? Yeah, of course. He's from a Belichick. I mean, all the Belichick guys are,
not Matt Patricia.
Yeah. So I just think they just need to fire Gettleman. And then if that doesn't work, then you go after Judge. Then you go after Jones. You do stuff like that. But you need to make something work first.
Okay. Now, David, I have a question now. This question has been in the air since last year. Everyone's been talking about it. Do you think the Giants should go after Russell Wilson?
Why would you go after a person that's in their 30s and give up 2 first-round – we're probably going to have 2 top 5 picks this year. Are you really – we're not going to be good next year even if we do get him. Why are you going to waste draft picks on him? I don't get it. Like, why don't you do something to improve the team? Why don't you get Daniel Jones the help he needs on the offensive line? Draft 2 offensive linemen. Go get a pass rusher. Go get an inside linebacker, the guy Dean from Georgia, who's going to be a top 10 pick. Get either the defensive end rush end from Purdue or Hutchinson from Michigan, who's going to be a top 3 pick or whatever it is. Help out the team. Like, so you're telling me right now, if they get Russell Wilson, the Giants are a playoff team? No.
You never know. Yeah, you got the weapons. You got the wide receivers. There you got what's the name?
Get out of here. Get out of here. Daniel Jones had the weapons, dude. Everyone's hurt. I mean, Nick. I'm sorry, David. Give me 2 seconds, brother. 2 seconds. So Nick Gates, who was going to be probably the best center in the league this year, okay, went out on a year-ending injury. Okay, Martinez, our defensive captain, who's the top in the NFL, goes out for the season. None of our fucking wide receivers, excuse my language, could stay healthy.
Yep.
Saquon did what he could do. No offensive line. This guy can't run through anything. I mean, the only bright spot of this season so far, okay, has been McKinney and our second running back, who looks pretty decent. Otherwise, this season has been complete trash with the injuries. It would have been a hell of a team if we stayed healthy.
Okay. Our defense has been poor also. I mean, we were one of the top 5 defense in the NFL last year, and we can't stop anybody this year too. I mean, is it bad? No, but instead of being a top 5 defense, we're probably mid in the NFL in terms of defense. McKinney's having an unbelievable year. We got hit. He was the steal of the draft. He was a second-round pick. He's supposed to be a top 10 pick. You have to get somebody like that, but he needs help too. And everybody's like, "Oh, Barkley stinks. We wasted the number 2 pick on him." Every team is just going to load the box against us. It's going to force us to pass with a backup quarterback. Do you really think he's going to average 100 yards with that? No. It's just common sense.
Okay, David. David, what do you think over here, buddy? I see you quiet over there. I see your face. What do you think over here, buddy, in this situation?
No, I mean, listen, I'm a Jeff fan. I've been there. I've been there basically my entire life. So I understand where they're at. Number one, you got to get rid of Gettleman. Has to go. I guess a follow-up question to that would be, how concerned would you be with firing Gettleman and keeping the head coach? Like, there's always that question.
James, we lose you, buddy, over there.
Get rid of one of them, or do you just get? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
All right. Do you get rid of the GM and keep the head coach, and then you have the GM come in who already has a head coach, or do you let him kind of just clean house? You hire the GM, you hire the head coach together. I mean, it's something to think about. I wouldn't fire Joe Judge after 2 years, because kind of like David said, if you have a ton of turnaround, it's very hard to get any kind of chemistry going. It's very hard for guys, whether it's a play caller, whether it's a head coach, whether it's a GM, if there's continuous turnaround, it's going to be very difficult to get everybody on the same page. I mean, that goes for more than just the quarterback probably more so than anybody. but it does affect everybody else. Daniel Jones, it's very hard when you're in your third year in the NFL and you're on your second head coach, you're on your third play caller. It's not going to be easy. You're not just going to be churning around points every single game. And obviously now he has the injury. Mike Glennon, just not an NFL caliber quarterback right now. That's what you're working with. You're not going to see a whole lot of yards. You're not going to see a whole lot of points on the scoreboard. The defense is doing what they can. When you lose a guy like Blake Martinez, I mean, he's your quarterback of the defense. That's how that works. When he's not there and you have someone else in the middle of that field calling the defense, a lot of things change. They have the talent in the secondary. Xavier McKinney is going to be a great player for many years to come. You just signed a Dory Jackson. James Bradbury is a player. So there's pieces there. I would go edge rusher with that first pick in the draft, whether it's right now, I think it's at number 5. I would go a pass rusher. You're probably not going to see the Oregon kid or Hutchinson at 5. You'd probably have to trade up to get him. But at this point, Karlaftis from Purdue, looks like he's going to be, a heck of a player too. And then I'd go O-line with that next pick. I would go trenches with both picks. If Evan Neal from Alabama happens to fall to that 6 or 7 or 8 range, wherever that pick's going to be, I'd go him. The North Carolina State kid, he can move into a guard if you need to. So versatility wise on in the middle of that offensive line is going to be important. And listen, you got to open up some holes for Saquon Barkley. If he gets loose, he's loose, and it's dangerous, but it's very hard for him to create that on his own right now, the way it stands. So there are some pieces there. It doesn't have to be stripped down, the whole way. They're going through a rough stretch right now, but it kind of happens when you're losing like that. It's kind of hard to get it turned around, especially this late in the season. So, they'll play this game, and then I think Gettleman is, Black Monday on, he's going to be fired on that Monday, and you got to get a talent evaluator in, and you got to hit on your draft picks. It's fun to sign the free agent to the big money. But personally, I don't think that's how good teams are built. And you got to hit on those draft picks, and they have a really good chance to do it with 2 top 10 picks this draft. I'm looking forward to see what the Jets and the Giants are. The Jets and the Giants have 4 of the first top 10 picks.
That's reminded me that, James. That's reminded me that.
Both teams have a really good chance to add really good players in this in April here. I'm pretty excited for it.
Yeah, Seattle pick you guys have.
Yeah, thanks for that, by the way. Yeah, what are you guys, like 5 or 6 and 10 now? What are you guys?
5 and 5. I don't know what the hell we are no more. I put a paper bag over my head. Yeah. I don't know. Well, I gotta agree with all you. I gotta agree with y'all. I think the Giants definitely got to see what they got to do. They got to get rid of that GM. That GM is horrible, god awful. But then you come with a question. Every GM likes to have their own head coach. They like to bring in their guy. They like to bring in their guy to use for the coach, and that's been that for every franchise. You never see a coach say and the GM go. Usually both of them get tossed. So let's see what happens in the offseason, and hopefully the best happens to the Giants. My bags are packed. I'm ready to come home, New York. Bring Russell Wilson, New York.
You're going to be going to New Orleans.
I love some gumbo. I don't mind some gumbo. Go down to New Orleans.
I don't know, Tony. Would you accept the fandom if he came over? What would you do? What do you guys do?
No, I told his ass to stay. I told his ass to stay in the rainy state.
All right, guys. Now we had I don't know, the Patriots, man. They love running that score up, man. They love running that score up. The Patriots clinched a playoff spot. They had over 50 points against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Wow. Now, Patriots got a game. They already clinched playoffs. You think these teams that already clinched playoffs should have their guys playing in the games this week Sunday? James, what do you think over there? I see your head.
I think at least for the Patriots, it's going to matter because it kind of worked out good for the NFL where seeding is still very much up in the air. Like the AFC, I don't think anyone's locked up the 1 seed yet.
No.
And now with the new playoff rules, only one team gets a first round bye. So if that 1 seed's not locked up, Tennessee and Kansas City, all those teams, you have to play your guys because you can get that extra week off now in this year where you're playing 17 games. If that extra bye can come in the first round, those teams, especially for a team like the Titans that could potentially maybe get Derrick Henry back if they have that first round bye. They bring him back in the divisional round.
I think
That
would
could
be
work
stupid.
for them.
I wouldn't do that. I would not rush him. I'll let him come back next year. I would not
Right?
bring
No,
back
I
Henry.
know. I'm not saying rush him, but if all he needs is 2 more weeks, then it'd be favorable. I think they said he's been at least at practice, kind of doing something. So if they're kind of just waiting for the moment to pull the trigger, and 2 weeks is what kind of gets them ready, then you have to play your guys. And for the Patriots and the Bills, I'm pretty sure they're both at 10-6. So if one team wins, they win the AFC. They win the AFC East. So with a lot still up in the air at this point in time, I think other than maybe the Packers,
they're the only one that clinched that first lead. Yeah, they got the first one.
Yeah, for seeding purposes, you got to play your guys for for the rest of this season here.
Okay, Tony, what do you think of that, buddy?
Resting players has always been bad. I'm not sure if it's ever worked out for anybody, to be honest with you. Especially for the whole run to the Super Bowl. I think you have to play full force and go ahead. I mean, when was it? When the Giants beat the Patriots the first time in 2007? I mean, Patriots they had nothing to play for, nothing at all to play for. They already clinched their first week bye, but they came in week 17 and they played us balls to the wall. And Tom Coughlin made that promise that if we saw them in the Super Bowl, we'd win it. So I'd say you got to go in there with your players, keep the momentum rolling. The only team who might not want to play any players, to be honest with you, is probably Dallas. They're going to be limping into the playoffs. I don't care how they think Dak looks. I don't think he looks good at all. I mean, first half of football was absolutely terrible. The fact that they were able to catch up in the fourth quarter was fine, but I think he looks like shit.
Okay, David, what do you think of it, buddy?
I agree with everybody's point, but it's all about matchups. So I don't care what anybody says. There's always teams you want to play versus don't want to play. Like if I was an AFC team, I do not want to play the Colts in the playoffs. That is one team I would not want to play in the wild card round. So for me, it's all about matchups. If you lose in something and you go up or you go back, or you're not going to see a matchup, then I would do it. And honestly, some of these players are playing 17 games. Your body gets worn down, man. If it's not going to matter, I get it. And honestly, like some of these players need rest, like they're banged up and stuff like that. And I agree with Tony too. Like Dallas, like they had no rhythm. Some of these teams should play everybody get some rhythm, whether it's for a quarter or for a half. So it's kind of like half and half, where I would be like, make them play the first half and then make them sit out. But also, they just lost one of their best wide receivers, Gallup, due to an ACL. Are they going to take a chance and maybe lose Cooper or Lamb or somebody like that? That's another thing you have to realize. But I don't care what anybody says. And like I said, too, I'm friends with some of the NFL people. It's all about matchups. Who do you want to see in the playoffs versus who don't you want to see in the playoffs? There are some wild card teams that could beat the number 1 seeds. It's all about matchups this year. This is the one year I can honestly say I have no idea who's going to win it this year. And it's all about matchups this year. Who do you want to go toe-to-toe with versus who you don't? And if it means you have to sit somebody, lose on purpose, where you'll get reseeded, that's what you got to do then. As much as people want to admit it,
Okay. And the funny thing you mentioned the Colts. The Colts don't got no quarterback this week. Carson Wentz is out with COVID. And Carson Wentz is out with COVID. I think they're gonna. Rumors were they were gonna go with Phillip Rivers, who might be making a comeback. I heard because they're not clinched a playoff spot. And the crazy part, you talk about the Colts. The Colts have not won a game in Jacksonville since 2014.
I know. Yeah,
So
but
the Colts.
Carson COVID last I know for a fact he's playing this week, but I mean, let's be honest here. Do you really think Jacksonville's going to beat the Colts?
You never know, man. These divisional games are hard to win. The Jacksonville Jaguars shut down the Bills, and that Bills team is something else.
They're going to make Jonathan Taylor run 40 to 50 times to win that game. They have to.
And it's crazy because if they lose that game, the Chargers and the Raiders later at night, they don't even have to play this. They can tie that game. Chargers and the Raiders both will get a playoff spot if they tie that game. If the Colts lose. That's what I heard. Yep.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens, man. This is gonna be a good NFL. This is gonna be a hard playoff. No one can predict the Super Bowl winner because there's too many teams that can come any Sunday and beat the other team, man. Let's see what happens. Now, guys, who do you guys think is gonna be fired on Black Monday in the NFL? Who do you guys think the top candidate is that's gonna be fired head coach wise on Black Monday?
I didn't really think about it.
I got all y'all thinking. I got everyone thinking.
Yeah, I don't think about that one.
All right,
Interim spot for whoever's in the interim spot for the Raiders isn't going to be the Raiders coach. So he's effectively going to get fired, I guess. And same for Jacksonville. They both kind of, they both got their head coaches fired in the middle of the year. But yeah, it's a tough one.
Texans, maybe.
Yeah, they're letting them go.
Yeah. Maybe the Texans. And I heard they're trying to, I heard the Raiders are actually trying to get Jim Harbaugh away from Michigan.
Yeah.
Or two.
I heard that today too as well.
Maybe the Cleveland coach might be gone because they were supposed to go in they were projected to go to the Super Bowl this year, and they're not even making the playoffs. And that whole team's in disarray with Baker Mayfield. I can see them possibly firing him.
Yeah, okay. I got a lot on my chest right now. I got a lot on my chest. I'm gonna go first though with the Minnesota Vikings head coach Mike Zimmer. He has to be tossed, man. He's been a coach of theirs since 2014. They have yet to see an NFC Chip game over there. Toss his ass, man. The amount of money y'all paid, freaking Kirk Cousins, y'all haven't been in the NFC Chip game yet. Toss his ass. Pack it up. No, actually, correct myself. They have been in the NFC Chip game. Sorry, they have been in the Super Bowl yet. I correct myself. I remember the Eagles mixed it with the Eagles blowout they had. But I would fire him. He's been the head coach since 2014. Toss his butt, man. That's too long, man. The amount of money you play these players. Then I'm gonna go with Chicago Bears. Matt Nagy, man, you had one playoff run, and then ever since that, you haven't done crap. That's another one I'll toss. Then I'll go over to the Denver Broncos. You got a big man here. What the hell you doing over there, pal? Yeah, I need to pack those bags. And the crazy part is that team has yet to see the playoffs since the Super Bowl 51. Yet to see a playoff. So these are my three coaches I had to get off my chest that I think they'll be tossed on Black Friday. On Black Monday, sorry.
No. You forgot one, my man.
One I forgot.
Tiny friend.
Which one I forget? Please tell me. Which one I forget?
Pete Carroll.
Oh, my God. Joe Judge is going to be fired before Pete Carroll, pal. Come on, man. Oh, God. I hope he falls off of that seat.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, bye-bye, my ass. Come on, Tony. What are you saying there, buddy? Come on, buddy.
I think Rule from Carolina might get fired.
Oh, yeah, I heard that too as well. Ooh, I heard he might be fired. Let's see, man. Let's see who gets tossed on Black Monday. I see James smiling over there. Yeah, I get it, pal. You have a first-round pick, right? You've been smiling this whole year.
You know what? All jokes aside, we shouldn't be laughing about shit like that. I mean, people losing their job.
No, yeah,
it's screwed up. But, yeah, we shouldn't be laughing about it. Sorry, coaches out there.
Yeah, no. If the Vikings fire Zimmer and the Broncos fire Fangio, they're both going to get defensive coordinator jobs probably on Tuesday. So if either of those guys get fired, I have no problem with the Jets getting rid of Jeff Ulbrich as a defensive coordinator, and I don't care which one they choose. But I guess I would have maybe a preference for Zimmer. But if Zimmer's on the market, he's getting a job real quick as a defensive coordinator, and I think the same for Vic Fangio.
I'll take Vic in a heartbeat.
Okay. Tony, you feel the same way?
Gotta be honest, I don't think our defensive coordinator's done that bad this year to be like, oh.
Look at them. What do you think?
Now with not with the injuries he's had. I mean, his top defensive player was not on the field at all this season practically.
I think he just might go somewhere else. I don't think it's the fact that I don't think he's going to get fired. I think he might go somewhere else.
He might.
I can see him going somewhere else because he might be afraid his job's in jeopardy with everything going on too. He might just say like, okay, I'm just going to go somewhere else. I can see that. And if they get Vic or Zimmer, I'll take either one of them because they're both legends on the defensive side of the ball. And Vic is I like Vic better because Vic brings like a more aggressive style than Zimmer. So that's what the Giants really need because I hate these defenses that just play passive. I want to blitz and hit the quarterback every play.
I mean, we just haven't had pass rushers, man. Since OC and Mr. Half Hand left us. I mean, it's
y'all haven't had a lot since a decade now. Y'all been making the same excuses every year that we didn't have this, we didn't have that, we didn't have this. Then y'all get rid of Odell Beckham for some stupid reason. I don't know why y'all did that. That's stupidity. Got rid of Odell Beckham. I don't know why y'all did that. I mean,
it could be the pitcher surfacing, of like a pound of fucking cocaine on a desk next to a prostitute. I mean, it could be him trying to marry the fucking goalpost or whatever he was doing. I mean, when he was here, he was running crazy. And, and it's said in every single sport, New York is not for everybody. And guess what? It wasn't for Odell. Odell went nuts here. I wish him the best of luck. It looks like he's kicking ass out in L.A.
He's slapping ass, actually.
Somebody in the asshole, the last game. I mean, I don't know what he's doing now. Yeah, I don't know.
David, what do you think? You think it was smart for the Giants to give it Odell, buddy? I know you're a big Giants fan over there.
Listen, it was time for the way he was acting. The media would just do he doesn't have to worry about it anymore. Look what he's doing in LA. I mean, he rejuvenated his career out there. In Cleveland, he just wasn't a fit. It's all about fits. New York, he was a fit, but the media would just go after him every time. I mean, like what Tony said, New York's not for everybody, and some people can make it. Some people, as soon as they leave the Giants, they crush on other teams because they don't have to worry about the next day of college about them. You know what I'm saying? So it's just some people. I mean, was I sad to see him go? Yeah, Odell's a freak, man. When he left, that's when everything started tumbling down.
Yeah. And I agree. I mean, New York is super tough place to play. I tell people all the time, if Eli was playing elsewhere out of New York, it didn't matter how many seasons he lost. Winning 2 Super Bowls for he would have left as a god and left on his own fucking terms. Yep. Playing here in New York, okay, the poor guy had booed out of retirement, which is a joke. He's 2-time Super Bowl MVP. He's going to be in the Hall of Fame. He should have been able to leave on his own terms. It was disgusting.
Yep, I agree.
Okay. I mean, that's very sad that y'all booed him out. I still don't get that, man. But Giants fans, they're very crappy fans. That's why we Seattle fans are the best fans in the entire league.
That's why you're ready. That's why you're ready to jump ship.
I'm jumping ship because listen, I'm a Russell Wilson fan. That's why I became a fan of Russell Wilson. He's like me, a short football player. When I played high school football, I was the shortest guy on my team. Russell Wilson, that's why I rooted for Seattle because he's like me, short guy that plays in the football. Yep. All right, let's go with a weekly matchup. This is a Saturday game. We got the Kansas City Chiefs versus the Denver Broncos, guys. Who you guys got winning this game?
Kansas City.
Kansas City.
I'm going to go with the Denver Broncos. I got Denver Broncos winning this game. I see Denver Broncos win the upset. I got Broncos winning this game. The next game we got is the Dallas Cowboys and the Eagles. And fun fact, last year the Eagles lost the game on purpose because the Giants are playoff spot, and the Eagles protected themselves this year and got their own playoff spot. Who you got winning these matchup, guys?
Go ahead, James. You first.
I'm gonna go with Philly. I think Dallas. Right now it's this. They can be up here, but right now it's here. So I'm gonna go with Philly. They got some momentum going. So I'm gonna go with Philly.
Okay.
I'm also going to go with Philly. I think Dallas has to sit some players. I think they have to try to get healthy because Zeke is hurt and Dak, I think, has been hurt all season. So I think Philly's going to, playing their starters, and Dallas is going to have to sit some people.
Okay. David, who you got, buddy?
I think Cowboys because they're going to play some players because they need to get that momentum going because they look like crap. I think that they're going to either – play the first half, and the Eagles don't have to play anybody because they already clinched a playoff spot. So for them, I think they're going to sit people more than anything else.
Yep. It's funny how you mentioned that. I don't know if you guys heard the news today. The Eagles have a big COVID bug right now.
Yeah.
Massive COVID bug. A lot of players are out right now on the Eagles side. A lot of them. Kelsey's out right now. One of the big tackles on the defensive side, I forgot his name. He's out right now. A lot of guys are out right now because of COVID bug. So I'm going to go with Dallas to win this game. I think I got Dallas winning. Because a lot of people's out. Next game we got over here, the Bengals versus the Browns. Who you guys got winning this game?
Bengals.
Bengals? Tony,
Yeah,
who you got winning, buddy?
I'm going to go Cincy.
Cincy? David, who you got winning, buddy?
Bengals, because I don't think Baker's playing.
Nah.
Okay. I'm going to go with the Browns because I believe the Bengals will be benching a lot of their players because they already clinched division, and they're not playing for no seeding because they're not moving up to the first seed. So I think I got the Browns winning. I think the Bengals are going to bench their players. They should do that, especially Joe Burrow after he got hurt last year. They definitely will do that. Next big game we got here. This is the big AFC North matchup, but they're both playing for a playoff spot right now. Is the Steelers and the Ravens. Who you guys got winning this matchup?
I'm gonna go with the Ravens.
I'm going to go
Okay.
Baltimore. I mean, if you don't make the playoffs after the start that they had, I mean, what kind of league are we in? So I'm going Baltimore.
Okay. David, who you got winning, buddy?
If this wasn't the last game of the year, I would go Ravens, but I think they're going to try and send Big Ben off with the win, so I think Steelers.
Okay, I think I'm going to go Big Ben. This is his last game of his career, and I definitely think Big Ben will get a W.
He has not said he's leaving the NFL. He said he's leaving the Steelers.
But he's leaving the NFL. I highly doubt that. He's playing again, buddy. I highly doubt that. I got a better chance.
Then why would his statement say this would be my last game with the Steelers, not with the NFL?
I just can't see
I
him.
don't know. Yep. Never can't see him do that. All right, this is a big game. The Colts playoff spots land on this. We got Colts versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. Who you guys going with this matchup?
The Colts. The Jaguars are a mess. I know they pulled the miracle out and they beat the Bills a while back, but things have gone seriously downhill, even more so since then. So I got the Colts here.
Colts.
Okay. Colts. David, who you got winning, buddy?
Colts. Trevor Lawrence has thrown 2 touchdown passes in, I think, 8 or 9 games this year. I don't think he's going to light up against that Colts defense who's pissed off they lost against the Raiders last week.
Okay. I'm going to go with the Jacksonville Jaguars. I see an upset in this game.
What?
I got Jaguars. Yeah, David, I see an upset here, buddy. We New Yorkers see upsets. I see an upset over here. I know, man. I know. That's the same reaction I made when he told me Jersey pizza is better than New York. I couldn't believe that. So
Talking to a guy who eats at Chuck E. Cheese.
Shut up. I ate a pizza, not Chuck E. Cheese, buddy. There's a big matchup right now for this team. We got the Cardinals who have yet they didn't clinch the division spot. They didn't clinch the playoff spot. They're playing for a division spot against the Seattle Seahawks. Who you guys got winning? Cardinals or Seahawks?
I got the Cardinals. I need it.
Oh, yeah, I know you need. That's why you got red on right now. To support the Cardinals.
The Cardinals are going to take it. They came back to prove a point, beating on Dallas. So, Cardinals.
Okay. David, who you got, buddy?
The Cardinals have a hard time sometimes stopping a run, even though they held Zeke last week. I'm taking the Seahawks.
This is what I love about the day, man. There's one thing we agree with each other. I got Seahawks winning this game, too. I got Seattle, come on, City. Seattle winning strong last game. All right, this is a big game for the Bills right now. If they want to clinch the division spot, Bills are going against the Jets, who almost had an upset this week against Tampa Bay. I don't know why they decided to go for the 4th down instead of going for a field goal, but Salah, you made that call. Who you guys got winning? The Jets versus the Bills. Who you got winning?
The Bills are going to win this game.
Bills?
Jets, they gave it a good fight last week, Sunday. It was a good game to watch. But, yeah, in Buffalo, I'm going with the Bills here.
Okay. Tony, who you going, buddy?
This is tough, man. I mean, the Jets have played great football the past couple weeks. And you guys have a player in Braxton Berrios, boy. Oh,
yeah.
He's going to be good. I look at him and I see Victor Cruz. I'll be perfectly honest with you. That's who I see him as for you guys, man. It's unbelievable.
Wait, what?
The Jets.
How did you make that comparison, buddy? What's in the water over there? I really want to get the water. How did you compare Victor Cruz, the legend, to that bomb over there?
Braxton Berrios is far from a bum, my friend.
Yeah.
Far from a bum. You probably don't watch football that much because you can't see the TV. But it's going to be a close game. I still have to give it to Buffalo, though.
Okay. David, who you got winning this game, buddy?
I got Buffalo, but shout out to my two guys, Emmanuel Sanders and Marcus May. Those are my two guys right there. Shout out to them, but I still think Buffalo's going to win.
Okay. Man, I don't know. This Jets team is difficult, man. Sometimes they come to win, and sometimes they come to get spanked. I'm gonna go Buffalo Bills. I got Buffalo winning this game, man. I got Buffalo because they need the divisional spot. They need that divisional title. All right, man. This is another big game we got. It's the San Francisco 49ers who are playing for a playoff spot right now. They win this game, they're in. They lose, they could be possibly out. And they're going against the LA Rams. Rams are playing for the divisional title. Who you guys got winning this matchup?
I got the Rams. Going with the Rams.
This is a tough game. I got to go with the Dogs on this one, man. It's going to be the 49ers.
Okay, 49ers. David, I see you. What you got, buddy?
It's hard because the 49ers, what they did, they ran 50, 60 times against the Rams, and the Rams' biggest weak spot is their run defense. Are the Rams finally going to step up and stop the run? Or are the 49ers just going to have their way again with Deebo Samuel and their running backs? So it's kind of like up in the air, but I don't think in that division, I don't think a team could beat each other twice in a year. So I'm going to go with the Rams.
Okay. Unfortunately, as much as I hate doing this because I hate the Niners, I hate their fans, I hate the organization, I think the Niners are going to win this game. Kyle Shanahan is playing for his coaching career right now. I think Kyle Shanahan is going to get the job done.
What did the fans do to you?
I hate the fans. That's a long story. I had a friend of mine that was a former fan. I hated that team because of that. So I hate the Niners because of him. All right, now we got the Chargers versus the Raiders. Both teams are playing for win and get in. But if the Colts lose, both teams can tie this game and both go to playoffs. Who you guys got winning this game?
This is a tough one for me. I really like Derek Carr. I really, really do. I think he's one of the more underrated quarterbacks in the entire league. I've said that a couple times here. I think a lot of people agree, but he's kind of one of those guys where he doesn't get the notoriety I think he deserves. Not, like some of the other guys do, but I'm gonna go with Derek Carr. I'm gonna take Derek Carr in this one. Season on the line. He narrows out Justin Herbert, who's gonna be just a hell of a player in this league as the years go on. But I'm gonna go with Derek Carr.
All right, Tony, who you going, buddy?
James, I agree on the matchup. I just don't agree on the outcome. I think Justin Herbert comes out there and proves that he's ready to see some playoff action. So I'm going to go with the Chargers on this one.
Okay. My friend David over there, I see your facial reaction. I know it's a hard decision for you, buddy. Who you going, bro?
It hurts my feelings because Justin Herbert was supposed to be a giant if he didn't return for his senior year at Oregon. So it hurts every time I watch him on the Chargers. But I am a huge Justin Herbert fan, and he's probably top 3 quarterbacks, in my opinion, in the league. I'm going Chargers just based on that.
Okay. Man, this Raiders team, they've been through hell, man. Nobody thought they'd make it to where they have a chance to go playoff spot. So I'm going to go with the Raiders, man. I think their car is the leaders team to the playoffs this year. All right, guys, that's all the time we have today. I hope all you guys stay safe out there. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. I hope Tony and my friend David realize that Jersey pizza sucks. And hopefully they get the reality sooner or later. And I hope you guys have a great weekend, man. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy some great football. Thanks for